Paul, thanks very much for joining us. Forge recently joined Yardi, and so for those that aren't familiar with the company, just give me an update on, I suppose, the company and the strategy.
Thank you. So Wayne and I co-founded the business in 2013. We're based in Bristol, and we wanted to create solutions that fix a lot of the problems inherent in the commercial real estate world. Our focus has always been traditionally around visitor management, smart access control, and people counting. We first started at City Point in 2015, where they needed a visitor management solution to replace our existing legacy process. At the time, we worked with Gallagher, an access control provider, to provide an integrated solution, allowing visitors to check in very easily and simply at the check-in desk, but also move through the speed lanes with a smart QR code on their phones. From that success at that first site, we expanded into more buildings throughout the UK, predominantly in the city, and we focus on the commercial real estate and multi-tenanted environments. We work with a lot of key customers, such as Landsec, HB Reavis, John Lewis, and the like, to build out solutions that fix many problems that they had, from checking people in and also managing the building securely. And to date, we have over 25 million square feet of commercial real estate, and we operate in around 250 buildings.
You obviously recently were acquired by Yardi. So in terms of the strategy there, Paul, what does that mean in terms of your growth?
Well, we recognised even during the pandemic, we experienced amazing growth. And to serve the market and to better serve the needs of the growing market, both vertically and geographically, we needed a partner that not only supported our values, but had the resource and capabilities to help us realise that potential. And Yardi were a perfect fit. They matched our values, and they had obviously unmatched quality and expertise in their field. So they really were a great fit for us to really help us realise those ambitions.
And Paul, you're obviously at the sharp end there in terms of the proptech side. Do you expect to see significant growth on this focus on smart buildings and touchless technologies?
Yeah, I think we do. We see a continued evolution of that, and we've been very much at the vanguard of that from the early days of the business. And we see that being adopted more and more. And I think one of the things that leads to that is data. Building managers, occupiers, and owners expect to have data on their utilisation. And where previously that might have been around ensuring value in the building, increasingly it's about safety, such as air quality. So making sure that the building is safe and operates within a capacity that meets the needs of not only the customers, but also from an experience point of view as well. We can see that continuing to grow. As we integrate more with different technologies and vendors and partners, we're going to see more of that, and people expect a level of what we call interoperability, which is the ability for different systems to communicate together to provide one solution that meets the needs of the customers.
And in terms of the sort of, I suppose, post-COVID world, what are you seeing in terms of the kind of key trends for technology around the built environment?
I think obviously the move into flex working, hybrid working has created a dynamic shift and accelerated what was taking place previously. And I think COVID, as much as anything else, has accelerated a lot of trends that we've seen in the marketplace. Hybrid working puts different demands on the systems that manage those buildings. So people are moving much more dynamically, where longer term leases are being much shorter. There's a greater fluidity into the movement of people into the buildings, and that needs a different classification of systems to manage it. Smartphones and mobile technology obviously leads a lot of that, but equally the behind the scenes of data to understand the metrics of who's coming to the building and when. And that is a continuation of that process.
Yeah, it's a really interesting area, Paul, I think. I'm interested to see how this develops. Thanks very much for joining us.
No problem at all.